What parenting trend you strongly disagree with?
My neighbor's daughter is a crunchy mom, wannabe influencer. Daughter will not allow adjectives to be used when speaking with her toddler or baby. They are supposed to discover descriptive words through exploration of their environment. I'm sort of unclear on how they are supposed to discover words that are never spoken, like colors or size or shape.
I'm not sure I understand what this means exactly.
You can say hand me the ball. You cannot say hand me the red ball. You can say look at the dinosaur. You cannot say look at the big dinosaur. You can say look at the water running in the gutter. You cannot say look at the water running quickly in the gutter.
IDK if this is a trend or not, but it's very common. Comparing your child to others. It doesn't matter if they're siblings, friends, etc. That f's up with their self-esteem and turns everything into a competition.
My wife and I are basically neighborhood pariahs because we allow our children to ride their bikes around our quiet, low-crime suburban town. I've had a parent flat out tell me he won't allow his son to come over without him because I might do something crazy like let them shoot hoops on the basketball net out front without standing there watching them. Children need a little bit of freedom. You can't be expected to make grown-up decisions when you never had the opportunity to make child decisions.
Removing doors when your kid asks for privacy. You just kind of prove why they want a door.
Posting the child's entire life on social media. It's one thing to include a family picture with everyone. But putting a child's entire life online, without their consent, isn't good. Especially when it's about what they've done wrong. Public internet shaming is one of the worst things one can do to a child, because who knows whether that will follow that poor kid around for years. When the cyberbullying is coming from inside their own house, nowhere is safe. And that's not even getting to the people who prank their kids and make them miserable for the views.
Never apologizing to your child about any mistakes you make out of avoidance of seeming weak. My mom did that to me all the time and it has made me feel like I always owed someone an apology because everything was my fault while I would never expect an apology from someone else, even if I deserve one. Disciplining children based on what other parents are doing. What works for one kid won't work for others.
Frick man. I can't even discipline my kids based on what works on their sibling lol.
Extremely strict rules in general. I had a childhood friend that came over after school once and he said he had to be home by 6. Didn't think much of it so we lost track of time playing games. He lived about a 10-minute walk up the street and he noticed it was 5:52, then started freaking out. My dad's gonna kill me if I'm late. I tried saying he wouldn't care about 2 minutes. The next day in school my friend said he wasn't allowed over my house anymore, and I never hung out with him again, all over this kid being 2 minutes late getting home.
I don't think I would have thought of it when I was a kid, but reading a situation like this now it just screams abuse of some kind.
Overscheduling activities. When I was teaching, I remember my kindergartners telling me they had no time to play because every day consisted of non-stop structured sports, dance and such.
When I was teaching, I had an 8-year-old student who kept falling asleep in class. We found out it was because Dad was getting him up at 5 for sports practice.
As a teenager, I absolutely hate how family members will spill private secrets and constantly complain and make jokes about you on the telephone or when families gather. Also responding to you in a very snotty attitude. I think that's a big reason I am insecure and have social anxiety.
Not letting their kids make mistakes.
My father-in-law made sure his daughters, my sisters-in-law, never had to experience a single consequence or reaction for their mistakes. They are adults in their late 20s now and both cannot handle the slightest gust of wind. They are very immature and developmentally arrested. One of them has never worked or paid a bill. And this is not a rich family.
Making your child terrified to fail. I gave up on so many things because I repeatedly got called effing idiot if I wasn't instantly an expert.
I have a friend with a 9-year-old brother and the kid won't do anything because he is too scared to fail. He doesn't even want to ride bikes because he is too scared to fail, and honestly it's pretty sad.
My sister-in-law pre-0 occupies her kid, and has since birth with a tablet. He is now 12 and has no friends and 0 interpersonal skills. He takes his iPad to dinner, to grandma's, to church and never talks to anyone. It's very sad to see.
Recording your children when you punish them. That's private, not for the public. Anything posted on the internet lasts forever. And children are cruel. Wait until at school, see. They will carry that their entire lives.
The cyberbullying was coming from inside the house.
Oversharing stuff about your kids on social media. A picture of little Johnny's poop in the potty is not cute, it's disgusting. You wouldn't post a picture of your own feces in the toilet, doesn't make any difference coming from a 2-year-old.
I had a former coworker tell me her 2-year-old daughter found her clit. I feel so disgusting just typing that. She has no filter IRL or online. Edit: the little girl found her own, not her mum's.
Overprotection. Kids need to slowly, safely learn to manage risk, and that means that they must take risks. Not letting kids learn this hurts them as adults, and preparing kids for lives as adults is really what parenting is all about.
Last year I taught my son about risk versus reward. He always raced down the hill from school, and it made me nervous because the sidewalk has big cracks in it and some of the pieces stick up a little bit. I told him I don't want him to run because I'm afraid he'll fall, but it's up to him. Is the reward of running worth the risk of falling? He decided it was, and one day he walked in, sobbing, because he had fallen and hurt himself. Once I had comforted him and cleaned him up, I asked if it was worth it, and he said yes, lol.
Putting your child's life on the social media.
And monetizing it.
Letting your kids scream and jump around the restaurant while pretending it's not going on.
Parents who give their children the silent treatment. Going hours, days, or longer without speaking. Making the children feel guilty, ashamed, and confused about what the real problem is instead of dealing with it openly and forthrightly.
I don't know if this counts, but I dated a girl whose father saw her kissing a boy at like 13-14. He completely broke off contact with her. By that I mean they lived in the same house, he paid the bills and would ask her administrative questions. Do you need anything from the store? What time do you need me to pick you up? Besides that, he didn't speak to her until her first long-term relationship. The level of mental, emotional damage this dude did is indescribable. Edit. I didn't expect this to get so much attention. It seems like this is more common than it has any business being. In case anyone is wondering, the girl is doing well and, from what I can tell, has a wonderful life. It didn't work out between us, but I'm grateful for the time I had with that beautiful person. To all of you who went through something similar, I'm truly sorry it happened to you. You deserve better, and please don't let anyone make you think different.
Overbusying children. Play doesn't mean playdate. Play doesn't have to mean organized sport. Your child doesn't need to have scheduled activities 4 to 6 times a week. Knock that poo off.
It's crazy. I know some people my age with young school-age kids now, and they're in like 3 to 4 different rotating after-school activities already, just so they can start building a resume for college. I know things are ultra-competitive now, but I don't think I did that much when I was in HS.
Allowing your child to watch screens, tablets, phones, with loud sounds and no headphones on public transport. WTF.
Not saying no to your children. I don't understand the logic. Setting behavioral boundaries and maintaining those boundaries through black and white logic makes perfect sense to me.
This for me too. My boyfriend's 10-year-old niece is never told no. Both her parents and grandparents let her do whatever she wants, and then act shocked when she misbehaves. But if they say no, they'll crush her creative spirit. I'm terrified for what that girl will be like when she gets older. She's already immensely entitled, and it will only get worse from here. Guilt tripping or being embarrassed to talk about sex and puberty.
Giving your kids literally whatever TF they ask for.
The one gift policy for birthdays. I saw someone on Reddit the other day ask another Redditor if they even raised kids because the other Redditor didn't agree with giving their child's sibling a gift on their birthday so they wouldn't throw a fit. They even argued that it wasn't appeasement because you only do it for a few years. The only thing that does is teach your child that they're entitled to a gift on someone else's birthday. I have 3 kids, and my youngest 2 are twins. They were born the week before Christmas, and for the first few years it was very difficult for my oldest to wrap her head around the fact that it seemed like they got more presents than her that month. Each year, we would patiently explain to her that their birthday was a day to celebrate them, and they didn't get gifts for her birthday in September. It took her a few years to understand, but we never appeased her with an extra gift on their day. It was a lesson she had to learn, and now that all of them are older, they all love celebrating each other's birthdays.
Mothers tell their kids, especially daughters, if he bullies you, he likes you. My parents did it on me, and my first boyfriend cheated and dumped me.
letting your 2-year-old get addicted to a screen,
or using it as a reward for them to stop tantrums. Actively encouraging children to use devices so parents are free to use their device in peace.
Not using sugar when making Kool-Aid. That poo was nasty.
Parents prioritizing being a friend instead of a parent. They then are shocked when their kid doesn't listen to them at all.
The "yes mum" where you never tell your kids no. I saw a lot asterisk of those working at Starbucks. It's 6 and your 6-year-old is screaming their brains out. Yup, you can have all the cakes and sweet treats. It's 8 p.m. and your small child is wailing for coffee? Sure sweetie, whatever you want. This is how Karens are made, _.
As someone who works in daycare, late potty training, I'm not talking about a child who is struggling or a child with additional needs. I'm talking about a child who could have been potty trained a year ago but I'm still changing their diapers. COVID hasn't helped either. The idea is that we aren't going to push children to potty train when they aren't ready, as it can lead to issues later in life like constipation. Which I agree with it. What it has turned into. My entire class of 3S is in diapers. The 4S class now has a changing table and diaper genie. My girlfriend who teaches kindergarten has several kids who are still in pull-ups. Once again, these aren't children who are generally struggling or have medical issues. These are kids I've begged to potty train but mum tells me, oh, I just don't think they're ready yet, we don't want to rush it. Thank you for watching. We upload new videos every day, so be sure to come back for more fun. Please consider liking and subscribing if you enjoyed the video.